Golf is a good walk spoiled. When we remember we are all mad, the mysteries disappear and life stands explained. It's no wonder that truth is stranger than fiction. Fiction has to make sense. Climate is what we expect, weather is what we get. Many a small thing has been made large by the right kind of advertising. There is a charm about the forbidden that makes it unspeakably desirable. The difference between the almost right word and the right word is really a large matter. 'Tis the difference between the lightning bug and the lightning. Be careful about reading health books. You may die of a misprint. I don't like to commit myself about heaven and hell. You see, I have friends in both places. Everything has its limit. Iron ore cannot be educated into gold. Only one thing is impossible for God, to find any sense in any copyright law on the planet. Be careless in your dress if you must, but keep a tidy soul. Grief can take care of itself, but to get the full value of a joy you must have somebody to divide it with. If the world comes to an end, I want to be in Cincinnati. Everything comes there 10 years later. Action speaks louder than words, but not nearly as often. When people do not respect us, we are sharply offended, yet in his private heart no man much respects himself. A person with a new idea is a crank until the idea succeeds. Cauliflower is nothing but cabbage with a college education. But who prays for Satan? Who, in 18 centuries, has had the common humanity to pray for the one sinner that needed it most? It is by the goodness of God that in our country we have those three unspeakably precious things: freedom of speech, freedom of conscience, and the prudence never to practice either of them. The secret source of humor is not joy but sorrow. There is no humor in heaven. If you hold a cat by the tail, you learn things you cannot learn any other way. Thousands of geniuses live and die undiscovered, either by themselves or by others. The very ink with which history is written is merely fluid prejudice. Few things are harder to put up with than the annoyance of a good example. A man cannot be comfortable without his own approval. Classic. A book which people praise and don't read. Honesty is the best policy, when there is money in it. All emotion is involuntary when genuine. Laws control the lesser man. Right conduct controls the greater one. When angry, count to 4, when very angry, swear. Patriot, the person who can holler the loudest without knowing what he is hollering about. I came in with Halley's Comet in 1835. It is coming again next year, and I expect to go out with it. It will be the greatest disappointment of my life if I don't go out with Halley's Comet. The Almighty has said, no doubt, now here are these two unaccountable freaks. They came in together, they must go out together. I didn't attend the funeral, but I sent a nice letter saying I approved of it. The man who does not read good books has no advantage over the man who cannot read them. I was seldom able to see an opportunity until it had ceased to be one. Apparently there is nothing that cannot happen today. Civilization is the limitless multiplication of unnecessary necessities. Why is it that we rejoice at a birth and grieve at a funeral? It is because we are not the person involved. Everything human is pathetic. The secret source of humor itself is not joy but sorrow. There is no humor in heaven. The trouble ain't that there is too many fools, but that the lightning ain't distributed right. Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. Facts are stubborn, but statistics are more pliable. Man was made at the end of the week's work, when God was tired. Don't say the old lady screamed. Bring her on and let her scream. It were not best that we should all think alike. It is difference of opinion that makes horse races. Training is everything. The peach was once a bitter almond. Cauliflower is nothing but cabbage with a college education. God made the idiot for practice, and then he made the school board. It is better to take what does not belong to you than to let it lie around neglected. Man will do many things to get himself loved. He will do all things to get himself envied. I must have a prodigious quantity of mind. It takes me as much as a week sometimes to make it up. I never smoke to excess. That is, I smoke in moderation, only one cigar at a time. It is better to deserve honors and not have them than to have them and not deserve them. Under certain circumstances, urgent circumstances, desperate circumstances, profanity provides a relief denied even to prayer. The finest clothing made is a person's own skin, but, of course, society demands something more than this. Noise proves nothing. Often a hen who has merely laid an egg cackles as if she laid an asteroid. Wit is the sudden marriage of ideas which, before their union, were not perceived to have any relation. It is curious that physical courage should be so common in the world and moral courage so rare. There is no sadder sight than a young pessimist. It is easier to stay out than get out.